Hi, gorgeous souls. I am Lady Stars and Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. This is the weekly healing messages for February 4th through February 10th. Hi, baby. Say hi, Neptune. There's so much going on and so much to say, and I'm trying to make sure that everything that I've been channeling, I'm just picking out the most important things because there's just so much so that I can give you what I'm being told. Now, I always tell everybody when I do the weekly healing messages or readings just in general, who and whatever it is that I'm channeling, no matter what it is, I direct you in that direction, whether it's Hebrew, whether it's Egyptian, whether it's Hindu, whether it's, would be considered Catholic and Jesus. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is that I am being directed to is where I take you. And I'm going to start off with this week's healing messages from the 4th to the 10th. But please, please stay around because the second half of this video is really going to get into some deeper information that I am being guided through the channeling of what I'm picking up through Gaia, the Tree of Life, and the really bigger picture of what's going on right now. So please stick around for that because that helps explain and helps you to understand what is going on right now. Spirit is saying at this moment, you're definitely receiving a cleansing. I'm being given vinegar. You're receiving a cleansing, or the earth is getting a cleansing. And that has to do with helping us to open up this heart chakra so that we can come into the 5D better, which is why so much negativity is coming out. Because truthfully, before we can embrace it, truly embrace it, a lot of the 3D lower vibrational energies have got to come out. And we've been seeing this for the last couple of months, but you're going to continue to see this over this year. Can I go back to where I was now? That's just the way it works. Okay, February 4th through the 10th. All right, first off, you have a full moon coming in on the 9th, which is in Leo. But I'm going to tell you, it's a Leo with a void, of course, to Virgo. And I don't call it the way most astrologers call it, because they just call it for the main time of when it finds itself. But if it's switching signs, you're still feeling the energy of both. And that's why I just refuse to follow what normal astrology or Western astrology teaches. Because I'm like, that's so not true. I'm like, you're going to feel both. Which means you are definitely feeling that Leo energy on the 9th when we have that full moon. But it's going to be shifting into Virgo. So it's going to be going from the courageous lion, very dramatic energy, and I mean dramatic energy. And that can be positive or negative depending on where you take it or where you allow yourself to be taken. And then into anal retentive, checklist, pick it apart energy. Feels very scorpionic to me. In general, is what I'm picking up. Spirit tells me a lot of pressure, power, manipulation, and that is Mercury going into shadow and next to Neptune in Pisces. Pressure, power, and manipulation. But for one, that all depends on, well, who has the power? And who do you give the power to? And are you taking the power or are you giving it away? Pressure, power, manipulation. Mercury, shadow, and Pisces. Okay, we're not actually at Mercury retrograde for like another, 2 weeks? But we're definitely starting to feel that shadow energy. This is Spirit is reminding me manifestation is coming quick. But time itself feels like it's dragging ass, like it's moving slow. This has to do with also this Mercury shadow, Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Neptune is here. Remember, Neptune is illusion versus delusion. It is where fantasy smacks you in the face with harsh ass reality. This week is full of mystery, magic, and malice. It's full of gossip. It's full of the hyenas are at the door. You know how you hear the saying of like, the wolves are at the door? No, this is more like the hyenas. The sneaky agenda is at the door. And who has the power? Hold on, because I'm going to get deeper into this. You have Chiron, Lilith, and Venus. Because Venus is leaving leaving Pisces and coming into Aries, moving closer, and they're going to be within like 3 degrees of each other. And at one point, they're all going to be like in 1 degree of each other. Chiron, Lilith, Venus, and Aries. All coming together within 1 degree. That is a power. Venus is not love. I don't know how many times I can say that, because people hear Venus and they want to think, all the agape love shit. That's not what Venus is. Venus is your sensitivity. She has the power within that sensitivity to bring money to you, to bring more compassion to you, to bring the way that you can manipulate a situation to work for you. But she also speaks to you about what hurts and why it hurts. The betrayal, the pain. Venus is your sensitivity, whether it's positive or negative, and where are you within your sensitivities? Chiron is the wounded healer, and Aries trying to understand, what is this new cycle about, and what do we have to heal? She's strengthening what is good and what is bad. Why it's good, why it's bad. Venus is on Chiron. Help him understand this a little bit better. But you have Lilith here too, which I say all the time. Lilith speaks to me of, like the masculine, feminine energies of, it would be the feminine energies of your sacral chakra, of your sexuality. She's your inner sexual temptress. But when I say sexual, I don't mean sex. I can, depending on what we're talking about. But sexuality is how you feel about yourself. Confidence and courage and being able to look in the mirror and go, yeah, man, I like that. I look good. Or what the fuck happened here? She's speaking to you about how you feel about yourself, your inner belly dancer. Or do you have confidence in yourself? Going with that Venus sensitivity and Chiron, the wounded healer, on a brand new cycle. Me first energy. But this threesome and its power is not getting along with the North Node. The North Node's still in Cancer. I'm going to come back because we got some talking to do about that too. But the North Node is in Cancer, asking you, what have you learned about nurturing yourself? Or where are you just flat out in denial about what you need to nurture yourself right? This threesome, like I said, of Chiron, Lilith, and Venus and Aries in this fire energy, this brand new beginning fire energy, take charge, let me do something, is not getting along with the North Node about how you nurture yourself right. It's not getting along with Ceres, which is now in Aquarius. Ceres is also about What have you nurtured correctly and what have you not? What have you neglected? But it also speaks to you about the threefold. It's too close to home energies. And Aquarius, which means it's also talking about the outer community. It's also speaking to you and not getting along with Mars. Right there is your masculine and your feminine headbutting. Plus you have the full moon, which is taking place Leo Virgo. Sun is in Aquarius, headbutting. What's good for outside? What's good for me? What's good for outside? What's good for me? How am I good humanitarian? How am I good in service? And what's good for me? They're headbutting. Your masculine creativity, intuition is fighting your action and aggression. Mystery, magic, malice. Gossip and hyenas at the door. Watch your six. Watch your back. Because there are hidden agendas out there. It's not that necessarily the agendas are bad agendas, but they're for them. Are you going to be ruled by other people's agendas? Are you going to see through it? Because this is asking you what's right for you. Do you have the courage, the power, the dignity to stand in your power? Pressure, power, manipulation, and manifestation comes fast, but time moves slow. I am being told, watch your back, watch your six, and I am given a Tyrannosaurus. I have a lot of spirit guides. I have a lot of dinosaurs that come to me. The Tyrannosaurus was like a hippo. Okay? Like big, like a hippo. But it had this bone that came up around its neck. And it was a bone. It wasn't, it was part of the skeleton and horns that grew out to protect it. But its head was the only thing that was like on a complete perfect sphere on the top of its neck that allowed its head to go in all directions. Those horns and that frill that was bone was meant to protect it in all directions. Watch your six. Don't go backwards. Don't walk backwards in time, but don't allow somebody else to put you backwards in time either. Protect yourself in all directions, because the sneaky agendas will try to pull you back to that third dimensional world. That is what this is about. Remember, pressure can destroy a person when they can't handle it. Yet, pressure can also create diamonds. Who has the power? And are you taking your power away, or is the pressure making you buckle under power? That reminds us, pain if you want to look at it from a positive point of view, pain reminds you that you are alive. Pain reminds you that you feel it. But pain also will remind you or make you ask yourself, what is worth fighting for? And this is where Gaia comes in and the Tree of Life and starts directing me. This is you coming into your sacral chakra, your root chakra, and how you are going to calibrate yourself over the next 10 years. And we are starting right now because this is a leap year. I'm going to come back for that in just a minute. But your inner warrior, is it a smart warrior? Or does it have wisdom? Because I'm led to, and I'm not led I'm led by Gaia to scripture. David and Goliath. Never misplace your stones. Never misplace your stones. Always have your stones close. David and Goliath. David took down Goliath by hurling a stone at his head and killed him. Not a shield, not a sword, a stone. Know what you're packing. Know the wisdom of what you are capable of, and know how to work with it. Never misplace your stones. Which also brings me back to David and Goliath. David became king. This is before he was king. We have reminders because this is a leap year. Okay, first off, let me go back one more. I said, remember, the North Node is still in. Because what I wanted to say is the North Node is in Lilith. But, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm talking to Spirit. The North Node is still in Cancer. And Cancer is nurturing, but it's also coveting in energy. Needing to hold on. What makes me feel good? What do I need to hold on to? And are you holding on to what's good or bad? Are you still nurturing the things that are not nurturing you? This is why Spirit said to me as I started to say, because now all I want to say is Lilith, is that it's in Lilith. And Lilith is a dark temptress within us, but she also speaks to our darker side about finding our confidence, our courage, and help us come back into our power. We burn. Our life is for us. The opportunity of life is for you to experience it. Are you afraid to experience it because you're holding on to what you know? This is what they're trying to say right now. Lilith is actually trying to help the situation, but she can also turn egotistical, so you need to understand where the power of your soul and your soul fire and your confidence and your dignity is and where it's lacking, so that you can stand up and stand out while you stand up for yourself. And the reason this energy is coming in so hard, and the reason people are finally standing up for themselves and acting entitled and speaking up, is because we have a separation with the third dimension and the fifth dimension. So many people are becoming awake. So many people are becoming aware. So many people are becoming calibrated and downloaded and coming into their psychic energy, but still don't understand what that means. Some people still question it. Some people still doubt it. And let me tell you, when you're new to this, it's fucking difficult. Because there's a lot for you to learn. It takes a lot of time for you to learn, to understand the dimensions, the shifting, the psychic energy, the growth, the skill, and how to do it, and trust in yourself. This is all what that North Node is trying to teach you here in Cancer at this time. And it only has, I believe, 2 months before it moves out. So it's at the time of going, did you get the memo? Or do I need to punch you a little lower in the gut? So that you start nurturing yourself right and stop neglecting self. Then, this is a leap year. Now, I've been saying for the last 2 years that you were going to see these aggressive energies coming out. You were going to see these negativities coming out, and that you need to try to rise above them and stay in that fifth dimensional world, or at least come through back to that third dimensional energy, that lower vibration, just to understand what you're doing wrong, so that you go, okay, I'm going to leave that there and then rise back up. The best way I know to explain this is, I don't remember where it is in the world, but everybody's seen it at some point. There's the place where the ocean splits, and like one side of the ocean, it's all blue and beautiful, and the other side just looks dirty. This would be those dimensions, and the split, the crossing over from the fifth dimension from the third dimension to the fifth. This has everything to do with leap year. This has everything to do with what is going on with Capricorn and all this energies that's coming through Capricorn, but the leap year has a part in it. Because Spirit is saying, first off, what is a leap year? A leap year means it's a leap of faith. But it's the missing link. It's the hidden year. It's the year hidden within the year, which means it's a number 4 vibration, but just as much, it's a number 5 vibration. Asking you to take the leap of faith, but on yourself. We just entered the roaring 20s again, and I said earlier that when we first started January, that this was the roaring 20s again. We were coming into these energies, but what we did wrong last time was we brought it in an egotistical level. We're learning how to be soulful and grow and bring it in on a soulful level so that we don't have a collapse in the 2030s. We're learning how to build with strength and a proper foundation that lasts soulfully lifetimes, so that we don't collapse because of ego being what was driving the seed. The number 5 speaks to us of our 5 senses. It speaks to us of our 5 fingers on all sides, our 5 toes on all sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This speaks to you of a calibration of the soul, of the body, lifting into a new ascension, a new timing. It speaks to me directly of it's time to adjust to the change. But it speaks of independence, versatility, and rebellion as well. The 4 has the 5 hidden in it within this year. It's the missing hidden year. Now understand, we're a quarter of the way already through in a 100-year cycle, which has 30 leap years. We are entering the ending of the first quarter of the 100-year cycle of the leap years, which speaks to us of a 1, 0, 0 manifestation and abundance of the alpha maturing. But we're also speaking of a 30, because there's 30 leap years approximately within the 100-year cycle. Like I said, we're approaching the beginning of the end of the first quarter. This is speaking to us of creative self-expression and learning how and what that means to do so. This is speaking to us of social certainty, tolerance, inspiration, imaginative energies, optimism. But this is where Gaia and the Tree of Life was leading me to scripture. Help you understand how this is shifting. Now, I'm not getting at people who believe in God or don't believe in God or believe in Jesus or scripture or any of that. I go where I'm being directed. because what you believe is your own business, and I don't freaking care, really. But this is how, what I'm being told to give you in the understanding of what the beginning or the ending of this cycle is starting to direct us into, so that you can see the ascension and us leaving that third dimension and coming into the fifth and moving higher up. A 30-year, we have 30 years, 30 leap years in a 100-year cycle. 100-year cycle. Going back millennia. Growing and growing and growing. John the Baptist started doing his preaching as well as Jesus at age 30. Ezekiel started prophesizing at age 30. David and Goliath, from David and Goliath, David, who also became king, began his reign over Israel at age 30. I am being reminded in Hebrew, because they give me the ayin, which is divine providence. Divine providence is in the eye of the beholder. But what are you seeing? This is where I was saying that, you know, there is a place in the world that has the ocean and it's blue on one side and it looks dirty on the other. The third dimension and the higher dimension, there is a fountain. In Hebrew, it's considered the Nim. It is the fountain of the waters, the higher waters and the lower waters, the third dimensional lower thinking, and the higher dimension, which is closer to the divine. Before you can be removed from your enemies, from that of the lower vibration, you must remove yourself from those lower waters. This is saying you need to know how to rise above. Those energies are still going to be there. That's the pressure that either will make you crack or help you turn into a diamond. That gives you the strength to find yourself so that you can be the power and not be the one that was manipulated in the manifestation that's growing. The ayin speaks to you of removing yourself from the circle of static that supports the fallen lower Nim, the lower levels of water, the lower manifestation. You can not get lower manifestation of the third dimensional world, the lower vibration of thinking. There is those who are not ready to ascend, who are not ready to awaken, who are not ready to change. And I said it's also a 4-year. The universe will have its way. Which means, as much as I hate to say it, things are going to get worse for them. You need to remove yourself from the circle of static. And if it's a working environment, like I said, we go to work. You choose the social circles you run in. Choose wisely, darling. Because you are definitely feeling the dark shadow of Mercury coming in. And when Mercury goes in retrograde in Pisces next to Neptune, the hyenas will be showing their face clearly. The gossipers, the hidden agendas will be coming out clearly. So watch your 6. Don't get lost and comfortable in anything but yourself and what you know nurtures you. Because that is going to keep you from the static circle of the lower waters, the lower Nim. Ayin is the divine providence, but it's all in the eye of the beholder. Remember that. I love you guys. Bye.